Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through the notes on quadratic functions. At the end of this, you should be able to say, I can find x and y values of quadratic functions. Okay. First thing, a quadratic function is something that has, like say, a y equals and some kind of x squared is the highest power, just so you know what a quadratic function is. So like this here, quadratic function, because it's got a constant, it's got an x to the first, and x to the second is the highest power. So this is a quadratic function. Okay. Example 1, if y equals negative 3x squared plus 2x minus 4, find y when x equals 3. So really on this, all we're going to do is just plug 3 in for each of the x's. So y equals negative 3 times x, which we now know is 3 squared, plus 2 times 3 minus 4. Okay. So 3 squared is first, that's 9, times negative 3 is negative 27. And then 2 times 3 is 6, and then minus 4. So that gives us, let's see, negative 25 when we add those all together. Okay, same thing here. Y equals negative 3 times 0 squared plus 2 times 0 minus 4. So this 0 squared is 0 times negative 3 is 0. 2 times 0 is also 0. Minus 4, so we get y is negative 4 for that one. And this last one, plug negative 2 in for all the x's. So we get y equals negative 3 times negative 2 squared plus 2 times negative 2 minus 4. Negative 2 squared is 4. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, and we also have another negative 4. So that gives us y equals negative 20. Okay? Example 2, determine if the point satisfies the quadratic function. So if this point is to satisfy this function, what they're really asking is this point on this function? Okay, so all we want to do on that is plug the 3 in for the x, and negative 40 in for y, and see if it equals. See if these two sides are equal. So we get negative 40 is our y. Negative 4 times x is 3 squared plus 3 minus 7. So we get negative 40. 3 squared is 9 times negative 4 is negative 36 plus 3 minus 7. So we will get, you'll find that negative 36 plus 3 is negative 33 minus 7 is negative 40. So this is true. So that means yes, 3 negative 40 does satisfy this quadratic function. And for B, we're going to do the same thing. Plug negative 2 in for x and 5 in for y. So we get, does 5 equal 2 times negative 2 squared minus 5 times negative 2 plus 3. So we get 5 on the left side. Negative 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Negative 5 times negative 2 is plus 10. And then a plus 3. So does 5 equal 18, 19, 20, 21? No, that does not equal. So that means that this point does not satisfy the function, which means negative 2, 5 is not a point on this graph. But 3, negative 40 is a point on this graph. Okay? All right, we got one more set of examples to do, but first, before we do that, let's do a quick comedy break.
Jumping off, leaving for it, just trying to get it. Pancake at least is smart enough to know what's around her. Uh-oh, here goes being stupid.
All right. Last one here. Example 3. Find the values of x for y equals x squared plus 3x minus 1 when y equals 3 and y equals 9. So we have y equals x squared plus 3x minus 1. So now this 3 is going to go in place of the y. So we do 3 equals x squared plus 3x minus 1. So now we got to solve this. So this is going to take a little factoring So what we're going to want to do is move everything to one side, subtract 3, and we get 0 equals x squared plus 3x minus 4. So what we're going to want to do here, if this is leading coefficient here is 1, which it is, I like to do the backwards technique. What are the factors of 4? So the factors of 4, 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. Which one of these factors have a difference of 3? 4 and 1 happen to have a difference of 3. So I'm going to put x and x to get my x squared, and I'm going to put my 1 and my 4 in, doesn't matter what order. And then now I'm simply going to want to, I know that these two numbers have to multiply together to get a negative. So that means a positive times a negative will give us a negative. So one's positive, one's negative. And since this is positive 3, I know that this sign here is always going to go with my bigger of my two factors, which is 4. So I go 4 and negative 1 gives me positive 3. And 4 times negative 1 gives me negative 4. So these are the right factors. So that means that x, in order for this to have to equal 0, not 6, but 0, 1 minus 1 times 1 plus 4, that's going to be 0 times 4. 0 times 5, that would give us 0. Or what's going to make this equal to 0? That's going to be negative 4 plus 4. Negative 4 and negative 1 is negative 5, and negative 4 plus 4 is 0. Negative 5 times 0 is still 0. So x equals 1 or negative 4. Okay? And then over here we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to put 9 in for y equals x squared plus 3x minus 1. So we're going to subtract 9 from both sides. 0 equals x squared plus 3x minus 10. So first thing we're going to do is come up with the factors of 10, which are 1 times 10 and 2 times 5. Which ones of those have a difference of 3? 1 and 10. Oh, sorry, not 1 and 10. 2 and 5 have a difference of 3. So that means we're going to do x and x, 2 and 5. I know that this sign here is going to go with the bigger of the two, which in this case is 5. And then I simply say a positive times a what gives me a negative? Positive times a negative. So then you say negative 2 plus 5 gives us 3, and negative 2 times 5 gives us negative 10. So x is going to equal 2, because 2 minus 2 gives us 0. Or what plus 5 gives us 0? That would be negative 5. So x equals 2 or negative 5. Okay. Just as a for instance, if this here was a positive, you would come up with the factors of 10 that add up to 3, which we don't have any. That's why it wouldn't work. But if this is positive, add these two factors. Since these were both negatives, we subtract the two factors to find the middle number. Okay, just kind of a little reminder. All right, that's all we have for quadratic functions. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask. Thanks.